Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So, as usual, it is often for me to receive messages from our Wing Chun friend asking me how to train for sparring, for fighting. And my answer is get a coach who have experience. And usually people don't like that, okay? And here I like to tell everybody, in order to train for sparring and for fighting, one need a coach who is experienced. Otherwise, one really simply cannot train. Okay, that's the bottom line. However, just to show you the theoretical part side, so that you be able to understand what is going on, okay? Because many complain, well, Hendrik, you're talking about getting a teacher. I cannot get a teacher. How can I know the teacher? All kind of stuff. So today I tell you bottom line, the bottom line of this training for fighting and sparring stuff. Okay. And as for the teacher, there are many Wing Chun Sifus working with me in the meantime. Okay, this is March 2017. Start from now, you can see many Sifu start to show their momentum. YouTube, and you can check it in the YouTube. There are many Sifu will start to show their momentum training, so you can look at it and decide who you want to study with. Okay. Now, to talk about sparring and fighting, let's go through what is reality, what is not reality first. Okay. The first thing to understand sparring and fighting, we need to know what is not reality. What is not reality? Okay? Because we cannot, like, we expect one thing and the reality is the other thing, and then we chasing whatever we expect, but it turns out that that is not reality. Okay? Today's Wing Chun have been influenced big time by movies, and it get influenced so much that it's already not living in the real life. Okay, and then people keeping adding on it, and expert in adding on this thing, and it get one completely out of the reality. Okay. Now, the first thing on not reality, this is something not reality, is this. All this tanda, pakta stuff, this is techniques for drill. This is not fighting, this is not sparring, okay? This is tanda, lapta, and then shift all this thing. This is training drill. This is not for fighting, not for sparring. Have you ever seen people use this kind of thing in MMA or other fight? You never. And this is not realistic training of fighting. This is techniques training, drill, techniques drill. Okay, and often it's not even momentum. Okay. That's number one. Have to watch out there. Okay, sure, in movie it looks good, but that's movie. That's not real life. Okay. The second thing is about this. Somebody start to import this magical power called sticking. Okay. Well, he touched my hand, and then he cannot move me. I have this jing. I have this force flow, and I just can control him when I stick with him and so forth. These two is not realistic. In the real life, it never happened this way. Okay? You never go like, oh, my hand is out there, you touch my hand and those kind of stuff, you know, breach versus breach, and then I can have this magic power, all this thing. It never happened. In fact, this violating Wing Chun's teaching of not chasing hand. This is chasing hand like hell, okay? And many people say, hey, you know, this is internal art power. You know what? Go check in the YouTube. There's a challenge of internal art practitioner in the 1950s in Macau. Okay, take a look at that challenge between a Tai Chi teacher and a white crane, if I'm not wrong, and see. Tell me, is there any kinds of this magic power there? Look at that video, okay, in YouTube, okay, it's a Mr. Chen and Mr. Wu competition video. Look at it, okay. Does it have anything to do with this sticking hand and then all this this power and magic power? Okay, so get real on this thing, okay. The third thing is, all the so-called grandmaster, this Mei grandmaster say this, that Tai Chi grandmaster say this. This is Wing Chun. If you practice Wing Chun, stay with Wing Chun. Don't get this Mei, white crane and Tai Chi. It's like if we study physics, stay within your physics department. Don't get chemistry, biology, all this kind of stuff, okay, which is inapplicable. You cannot mix those kind of stuff, okay. At least we not in the level to create our own style yet, not like Bruce Lee, okay. So get that real. The reason I say this is because you guys asking me how to train in fighting and sparring. So we are not in Bruce Lee level, the grandmaster who can create their own style. So keep all this Tai Chi, Mei, all these things away. Okay? So these three things is a kiss of death if you're keeping chasing this thing. Now, speaking on, so how is the reality of training, fighting, and sparring? The first thing, one must know what type of art one is practicing. And every art you know, you need to know their momentum characteristic. You need to know their power type. You need to know their mechanics. You need to know the body conditioning, and you need to practice that, train in that. We cannot say, oh, I practice, I train in Western boxing. But really, do I know the momentum of the Western boxing? Do I know the power type? Do I know the mechanics? Do I condition my body like Muhammad Ali? If I don't, forget about it. So the bottom line is that one need to know what is one doing, okay? And it's simple as I formulate for you. You need to know the momentum type, you need to know the power type, you need to know the mechanics, you need to know how to develop this body, condition this body to support this type of art. Okay? So, after knowing this, be able to play with the momentum, and definition of the momentum is that one need to go full force type of stuff, okay? Not this playing like that, standing there, full force using this particular art, okay? And then one get into a formal training of sparring or fighting. And it's very simple. The first thing is one need to get into one's optimized guarding position. Guarding position. Every style have their difference, okay, but have their common, the guarding position. The second thing is the training of engagement. When two party is there, one need to take the initiations, be it active or passive, to make the engagement, to make the engagement, okay? The third thing is to train what happened after the engagement. How is thing changed? How is thing have to adapt it to the situations? These three things. Okay? So one train at least 400-500 hours on the guarding positions, on the engage from different angle, and the different scenario after the engage. All this dealing with momentum handling, okay? So again, the guarding position, which is based on the momentum handling, the engage, which is based on the momentum handling, and the after engage, the change, the adaptive, based on the momentum. And you need at least 400-500 hours of this type of sparring, of training. You need to get a coach beside to train and to show you to all those kind of stuff. So if the coach have no idea what it is, then you cannot train this part. And if the coach doesn't even know the characteristic of the art, like the momentum characteristic, the power type, the mechanics, and the body conditioning, then the coach have no idea what it is. How can one be a sifu or teach anything like that? And then when you race to want to go fighting and so forth, and sparring, then one need to know the position, the guarding position, the engage, how to get the engage, how to set up, how to all kinds of stuff, being passive, active, and how to play after the engage. Okay, and this is a full force stuff. So this is how in general one needs to train. Otherwise, forget about it. Okay, it's daydreaming. Now, saying that, let me share with you. Today, people watch too much movie. You see all the Wing Chun in the like the MMA and so forth. When they fight, they do this. Okay. When you do this right away, we know that the person is not trained in the guarding positions. Why? Because in the train of the guarding position, it is to train how to cover up our target and how to take other people's target. Okay? The minute I do this, okay, like usually people stand like that and doing this, or stand like that and doing this. There's a lot of this target is open for strike. And it is really not smart if you open all this target and people can launch different attack from different directions. People are going to bait you, okay? This type of stuff is called man sao, asking hand. Well, sorry, Wing Chun is not for chasing hand. Why do I want to ask hand? Okay? If you check on ancient Wing Chun, this is the guard stance. This is the guard stance. This is called gong sao. This is like when two people, the Chinese, when they meet, they respect each other. Okay, they greet each other this way. This is gong sao. Gong sao is a round, really balanced guarding position. It's is hiding, like this is a seal. I'm behind the seal. Okay, this is gong sao, not this. When I do this, my hand is out there. Okay. If you, like me, trained by my late grandmaster Cho Hong Choi, he would say, you put your hand up here. Watch out for your this part, this wrist being taken out. Okay. And watch out that people control you via this arm. So it is this. Okay. As soon, in ancient, that is how the Wing Chun guarding hand is. Because Wing Chun go for what? Go for the momentum, go for the center axis or the vertical axis of center gravity. Not this. This is clumsy and this sticking out there. If I want to punch this one, I have to pull this back. Okay? This one I can strike with any direction. For this one, this is over. I need to strike this one, I have to pull this back. Timing wise, a lot of things is off, and then for this one, this has become a target. This has become a target. And different part of body is a target. Don't expect the opponent is idiot. Okay? So there is a guarding position. One need to know what's going on. The second, when you get engaged, how to engage in the footstep, footwork, the body work, all is supporting that. And then at the time of after engage, how things change. All this has to be clear, really clear, and be able to handle. Okay, so it needs at least 400-500 hours of sparring. Otherwise, one really don't even have the feel of what's going on. Okay. Now, speaking on Wing Chun particular, just now is general. Wing Chun particular. People often say, "Oh, stick at it, stick at him, stick at him." Wing Chun is close fighting, stick at him. Okay. And using chi, relax. Okay. You know, this is all philosophy stuff. It's all empty words. The Wing Chun sticking is not about how I think. Oh, I have intention, I have chi, I have a stick, I relax. Like, you know, oh yeah, you push me, you see, I can take it. No, it's not that. It's completely not. So what it is? Wing Chun sticking is in Wing Chun mechanics. Remember the long coming, short receive, the retracting receive, close body, the twirl, those mechanics, those power type, it is in that. So one don't have to know this sticking, the chi, be loose. Forget about it. As soon as one get the mechanics proper, one know Wing Chun's momentum. It's a short strike momentum. One get the mechanics of the footwork for the retract, close in, twirl. As soon as one get that handle, get that skill, sticking come naturally. Okay. Otherwise, oh, stick at him. Oh, using chi. Oh, loose. No, relax. It is not going to help. It is mechanic which is implement or realize Wing Chun. Not all this philosophy. Okay. So I hope that you see a clear picture of what's going on theoretically. But if you don't have a coach to train you, it's hopeless. I'm lucky. I get Grandmaster Cho Hong Choi, late Grandmaster Cho Hong Choi, who is always doing Gong Sao, and then my Kyokushin coach Joe Chin to slap me around when even I'm just 14-15 years old when I make mistakes in sparring. Okay, so my first 500 hours is from these two teachers, these two Shifu, which I owe a lot for them to see what is reality. Okay, you need that. You cannot say, oh, I do this, or this is the techniques. So this is reality. You know the theory, you know the big picture. Go look for a teacher who really fight in MMA, who really fight in Thai boxing, who really fight in have a tournament in Muay Thai and so forth. There are plenty of good teachers in this world. Okay, like there are many good Choi Lei Fat teachers who fought in Muay Thai. The match, okay, like our MMA, but it's a Chinese martial art, the Muay Thai match. There are good coach from Wing Chun. They are good who have that experience. They are good coach in boxing, Western boxing. So learn from them, okay? And so this is what I like to share with you. I'm here just to tell you what is the big picture, what are you get into, okay? Don't look at me, don't learn from me because I'm nobody, okay? So this is for you.